Hello, this is Joe Seaman, the Heritage Manager at Eastbourne Borough Council. The video you're about to see is about a project that we are running with some of our colleagues in the Open Spaces and Ecology team, and also with the church community of St Mary's Old Town Eastbourne. And the idea behind it is that we aim to manage the churchyard there, which is a wonderful, large, green open space, in a way that is better for nature. I'll let my colleague Simon Hurt, who is a specialist advisor for open spaces, explain more. But just to give you a brief background of the church, it was used as a burial ground there between 1160, when the church was built, and about 1860, so around 700 years. In fact, it was used for many different things. There would have been sheep grazing there. They had fairs there until 1285, when they had to have them outside the church. And then it was basically used as the churchyard until the 1950s, when to make the municipal caretaking of this space easier, the tombstones were mostly moved around to the fringe of the yard itself, making it easier to care for the grass. Now, that's not something I think any of us would advocate today, but we now realise that space could have an incredible value both for the church community and for the wider public community. Many of us, including myself, walk through there every day and appreciate what we see around us. And the wonderful thing with these churchyards, which is something I've learned over the course of this project, is that a lot of the seeds that once sort of grew into wild flowers around the churchyard do remain within the ground itself in a seed bank, and we think maybe for hundreds of years. So hopefully this project will see an area of town rewilded in a way. Anyway, over to the real experts now. Hope you enjoy it.
I'm Simon Hurt. I'm one of Eastbourne Borough Council and Lewes District Council's specialist advisors on green space. We're here in St Mary's Churchyard in Old Town Eastbourne, and it's a site which most people would think of as a place for former life and former lives. But we're now going to begin looking at the area for its wildlife potential and managing it in a slightly different way and bringing in new life, the birds, the insects, and letting the plants grow on that used to be mown regularly, so that people can appreciate what else is here and what nature is providing inside this whole urban area of Eastbourne. Here's a good example of one of the plants typical actually of some of the chalk downland. It's bird's foot trefoil, which in fact in the right circumstances can attract some of the little blue butterflies that the chalk downland is so renowned for. In some of the drier and perhaps more chalky sections of the churchyard, we've even got pyramidal orchids, and there are a number of these around. They're quite inconspicuous, but they're lovely to see when they come out into flower. Here's another small area with different character again, and there's a lot of clover and mouse ear here, which is really good for the bees and hoverflies. Across the churchyard, the environment isn't the same over the whole area, and here we're actually on top of a buried grave slab, which has very thin soil over it, which has meant in the warm weather we've been having, the vegetation has actually parched off, but other areas are still quite lush and green where the soil is deeper. Where we've got these buried grave slabs here in the churchyard, it would be an interesting experiment to remove some of the very thin soil and vegetation layer and see how long it takes for lichens to colonise these fresh stone surfaces. And the lichens themselves are good indicators of the cleanness of the air in an area. So over several years you would see from the species here, hopefully, how clean the air is in the area. Across the broad expanse of the churchyard here, we're going to leave all of the central area unmown in order that the wildflower meadow can develop. But around the edges we're still going to keep a mown margin, because that we feel is more acceptable, makes it look managed and cared for at the same time.